Next time on Star Trek Deep Space Nine, a Bajoran terrorist seeks refuge on board the space station.
He has committed brutal acts of destruction.
I want Bajor for Bajorans.
But where do Kira's loyalties lie?
You expect me to commit some act of violence against the Federation?
There is an armed bilateral explosive device on board this ship. No more wormhole, no more Federation.
Next time on Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
All right, welcome back to the Ways Away Tour pod. Great intro. How we doing? My name is Moshe Hill. I'm here with my co-hosts Nati Burnside and Andy Schwartz. How you guys doing?
Excellent.
Yeah.
Party
I'm
time.
a little
You're a little what?
I'm a little disturbed by that music.
It's
I'm a little disturbed by that
1993 at
music.
its best. Come on, man. You got to do
Better
it.
than that.
Now,
It's not. It doesn't sound like Star Trek in any way. That was so weird.
it sounds like UPN in the 90s is what it sounds like. UPN in the 90s was the best. Come on. Now, Nati, first question goes to you. Do you call him Coach or Coach Orion? They call him Tanalos, but what do you call him?
I prefer to call him Coach Orion.
Coach Orion.
But,
Andy
that
agrees
is-
with
that
me,
is not
though.
my-
He is
that
a better
not my
coach than
favorite of
Coach
the Mighty Ducks
Bombay.
news.
Coach Bombay?
That's insane.
Bombay sucked.
Bombay's
Coach
a
Orion
great
at least
coach.
know how to teach defense.
What are you talking about? Bombay's the best. That third movie is the best movie. What a classic.
Coach Orion, the Mighty Ducks, D3, the Mighty Ducks. He is their coach, but that's a few years away. Right now, he is the guest character, Tanalos, on the third episode of Deep Space Nine, past prologues. And, guys, we start out strong. We start out with some gay coding between Bashir and Garrick. The joke that has gone on for 30 years. So I don't know if you guys are on the same X feeds or algorithms that I'm on with all the Star Trek stuff, but at least half of Star Trek discussions is about how Bashir and Garrick are gay.
It's pretty close. I think Bashir more than Garrick. I feel like Garrick, it's just his personality. Kind of like more of like a...
Bashir
flamboyant.
more than Garrick.
Yeah.
I mean, Bashir's pretty much. He's quite the stick man. He's
looking for it.
He's going after it with every girl. He hits on Jadzia in the first episode. The second he sees Ezri in season 7, he dates Lita the Dabo. I think he has sex with every single Dabo girl in Quarks.
It's his beard. He's pretending.
He's just pretending. He's really after
Yeah,
Garrick the entire time.
At the time, you know.
The man loves a
It's what
tailor.
He wants what he can't have.
Indeed. Well, they turned it into a joke for Lower Decks, right?
Yeah.
In Lower Decks, they had like an alternate universe.
I think they did, yeah.
There's an alternate universe where Bashir and Garrick were lovers, which kind of kills it, to be honest. I mean, I know Lower Decks is funny. I love Lower Decks. Best show of New Trek. I don't think New Trek is that good. You guys are watching Starfleet Academy. I'm not. But
Strange New Worlds is a great. Stranger Worlds, I love.
I didn't even watch the last season of Stranger Worlds.
Oh, it's so good.
Not worth my time. I got too much TNG and DS9 to rewatch.
I hear that. It was a great episode of DS9, guys.
That's
great
right.
Episode.
So here it comes. There goes Nati again. This has become a recurring thing. Every time. All right.
We should take Polymarket. How many times per episode is going to disappear?
The Kalshi markets have it over under at 2.5. So what I wanted to talk about was the difference between politically between like a Kon Ma terrorist and like a Shakar resistance Major Kira terrorist.
Yeah.
Like, what's the difference between these two?
it seems like, it's like it looks like with the Konma, they're willing to, like, if they stop, will bring you into the fold, or at least have that conversation. You know, with the Shakir, they already gave in. They're already part of it. They're already like, listen, we wanted a peaceful Bajoran, we wanted the time, we wanted the ability. The Konma are still fighting though. Like,
yeah. Well, it seemed also
the,
like the Konma, they probably targeted civilians. So the way I always looked at it, and I don't know why this isn't like more of a mainstream definition of terrorism, but I always thought that the difference between like terrorism and underground whatever fighters is a few things you have to be a terrorist is you can't be a state, you can't be like an actual military, right? You can't.
that makes sense.
You have to be paramilitary. You have to be targeting civilians, and that's being part of a terrorist, targeting civilians, and you also you have to use violence to make your political gains. So, and it seemed like the Konma was deliberately they mention like outposts and stuff like that. They don't mention like military stuff. He mentions like that they were going after civilian targets.
Any way they could hurt the Cardassians, it comes across. Even if it hurts some Bajorans, it didn't matter as long as it hurts majority Cardassians.
Yeah. So it's So it seems though that like he was definitely more on the terrorist side than Kira.
But
was.
like, it also talks about Kira though, that the fact that they worked together, they were, they did things together. They were informed of each other. Was she Konma, or was that just
What's
kind of
going on?
welcome back, Nazi?
Welcome back,
was
Nazi.
she Konma, or was she just part of like all resistance groups together?
So
Like,
no, she was part of the Shakar resistance cell, and they explained that everyone had different cells and they all like did their own thing, but like obviously there was some crossover at some point. So the Shakar resistance cell was folded into like the members of the resistance went and got like land and farms or joined the Bajoran military like Kira did. And so Kira joined the Bajoran military and became the liaison officer to DS9 for the provisional government. Then there are some like the Konma who just like kept on fighting. And they're like, well, we're not done yet. And we're not done until like, and so.
Why would they think he's like all of a sudden done with the Konma? He's in the middle. From what we learned, he steals something from the Cardassians. He steals, and
well, we didn't know that until later. Yeah,
but he's fleeing them, and he gets caught. He's seeking asylum, but at the end of the day, he's not giving up his ways. He doesn't ever say he's giving up his ways. Until they start pushing him on it.
Yeah, she basically says, like, you renounce the Konma, we'll give you asylum. Like,
right.
Like, pretty early on. Pretty easy.
And he's like, yeah, okay, sure.
He's like, sure, yeah. Like, really not that much of an ask from his perspective.
Not much convincing, yeah.
Yeah, he didn't need to take much convincing. Like, Kira was ready to, like, give him asylum. Yeah, and what I love, Nati, what is the difference between a Konma terrorist and a Shakar resistance cell terrorist?
Well, I think they point out that the Konma attack Bajorans.
In addition,
they point out that like that's why that's why the Cardassian says he's like even the Bajorans wouldn't want to give him asylum because the Konma like attack Bajorans who like they think are like going too easy on the Cardassians, or like in this case maybe they're like they would attack Bajorans who like are like partnering with the Federation or something.
Yeah, so if they're gonna do that, wow, all right. Nati, you have to get new internet. Like, get FiOS. I don't know what kind of internet he has in Fair Lawn, New Jersey. Oh my God, I just doxed Nati. So he has terrible internet. So okay, let's keep going. I love when Cisco does this thing where he asks for a few docking regulations. He's like, let's have a couple of docking regulations. They'll be there for 6 hours.
Let's just make them up as we go.
Make them up. Really, I love that. My favorite moment, though, was because it reminded me of other things. When Kira was talking to the Admiral in Starfleet, and the Admiral immediately tells Cisco about it. It reminded me of in The Office when Dwight called Jan to rat out Michael, and Jan immediately calls Michael, and Michael's like, "You saw Dwight? You were at the dentist?" Like he doesn't know idea what's going on. And
I love
yeah.
I love 2 points in that scene. First of all, when they speak afterward, she's like, "Tell that Bajoran woman." Like she doesn't even care. Tell that Bajoran woman.
Why do I need to talk to like Major Kira on Deep Space Nine? Like I don't give a shit.
I'm an
like,
admiral.
I'm an admiral. Like I got bigger things to deal with. It's like we have the wormholes here. It's like I don't care about the wormhole. Like the Borg attacked like 2 months ago. Like
I know. You gotta be careful.
Like, do you have any idea what's going on in the neutral zone right now? Like, the Romulans are literally about to invade Vulcan. Like that's happening right now.
Yeah. What's also great is that when Kira and Cisco are talking at like before they get to speak to anybody, he's like yelling at her, but he gets higher pitched as he yells.
I love it.
And I feel like I keep thinking he's gonna break out into like a hee hee. Like, he's gonna break like he did in that first episode. I just feel like he's always ready to like you know like
I know.
And I'm hee hee. I'm talking to you.
I also thought he was gonna go into full like Spaceballs. Like, what? You went over my helmet? Yeah. Well, not exactly over. More to the side.
Yeah. He handles it. He handles it great, though. He really he handles it like a champ. You know?
I know he's the best. And Cisco's awesome. And Nati, we're not going to catch you up every time you fall out, but you have to get new internet. So, Nati, I'm going to now let you talk for a minute. O'Brien has experience with the Cardassians. Okay, so I looked it up. This episode aired around 3 weeks after Next Generation Chain of Command. There are 4 lights. It was around 3 weeks later. So O'Brien warned Cisco that, what's it called? That, you don't want to hand over them to the tender mercies of the Cardassians. Is he referring to Picard being held by the Cardassians? It was
no. Remember, O'Brien was a soldier in the Cardassian War.
Well, he was on Setlik 3. We know
he's
that.
He's probably just referring.
But he also
the Butcher of Setlik 3. But we're like
But this is
like,
right after
so presumably
Chain of Command
he's had
aired.
Plenty of experience. Right, but it's not like he says to Cisco, he's not like, "Hey, you can't turn anybody over to the Cardassians." They've got this whole like lights thing. It's really complicated, but I know it doesn't sound so bad, but it's really pretty bad.
Hey, Tana, if we do hand Cisco's you over, there are 4 lights. All right,
don't forget it.
Just whatever happens.
Cisco's like light-based torture. That doesn't really sound that bad.
O'Brien apparently has.
It's like, no, trust me.
Yeah.
He says, "It's not you I hate, Cardassian. I hate what I became because of you."
Yes, he hates the Well, that was in the Next Generation episode where we were introduced to the Cardassians, which is not Gul Dukat. Same actor, same makeup. I think he has like a mustache, like this weird like mustache thing in that episode. But yes, O'Brien famously hates the Cardassians. I wonder if that'll come back to bite him later this season. So
maybe.
Yeah, spoiler alert. Yes, it does. So Tanalos is a Bajoran extremist. He doesn't want the Bajor to be a power in the quadrant. He doesn't want the wormhole there. So the quick question is Tanalos right? Like, is it better for Bajor to not be part of the Federation, to not be and just be independent, away from the Cardassians, away from the Federation, no wormhole, just like, let's just do our own
No.
thing, isolationists?
No, he's insane because he's not like seeing the bigger picture with the wormhole and the fact that like now that the wormhole exists, the Cardassians would just 100% show back up and take everything over again.
So what you're saying
Like,
is
the
you're
Bajor-
Federation
the Bajorans
first,
don't
and
have-
I'm Bajor first. And Bajor first, I mean, I'm assuming that you are in some kind of files, maybe some Cardassian files, like these pedophile files. I don't know, like pedophile files. That really means that you're controlled by the Federation.
The Bajorans don't have a military capable of defending like the station and the wormhole.
They barely
So, like,
had any ships.
it doesn't-
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense to like
I don't know, but
Kick
I'm
the
just,
Federation
I'm
out.
Bajor first, all right?
Yeah.
I'm Bajor first.
I think-
That's it.
Yeah, I think for Bajor, as it brings prosperity. It brings people with money and trade. Obviously, there are going to be ruffians, who come in and like
Yes.
make like issues. But at the end of the day, like you're bringing in the rest of the galaxy to you for something you need. Also, the Federation is now willing to spend a lot more money. It's like when America goes in and all of a sudden we find oil, and it's like,
That's
oh,
true.
there's a lot of oil now. We got a lot of money going in.
Oh, you're just protecting Deep Space Nine because of the wormhole, guys.
Right.
It's like, yes,
Exactly.
I am. I'm protecting Deep
I had-
Space Nine because I
I-
love that wormhole. I need that wormhole. It's my wormhole. We found it. And I remember we found it at a Federation runabout.
I had a great question. Was Tana Los that close to Kira, or are they just because they're both like freedom fighters and Bajorans? Like, how close do you think?
to be
were
clear,
they?
this doesn't really make any sense, right? Like if you think about it, like you're talking about like a oppressed people and like different things on different parts of a planet. They shouldn't like know each other. It doesn't make any sense. Like they might know like of each other, but they wouldn't like recognize each other. It doesn't make any
Unless
sense.
they
Like
worked together and they were friends.
Maybe they had like a coordinated mission at one point.
yeah, but Kira's doing like undercover random operations for her thing in like the mountains of the Jakar province.
Okay,
She's not
but-
like
But she's okay.
Out
Hold
there.
on. Well, we know that like Kira has done stuff off planet. She's done stuff on Deep Space Nine. She's literally been in the Resistance for like 20 years at that point.
Yeah.
You know, she was in the Resistance like her whole life. There's no way that Shakar and the Kon Ma didn't like team up once or twice. And Kira was like the second in command of the Shakar Resistance cell. So there's got to be some team
it still
ups,
seems
right?
weird. It still seems weird. These
It's like
people
when
know each other.
Hamas and Hezbollah team up, like they're all working together.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. And also, like,
No.
It's been a while.
I think in the fact that they were just both.
I mean,
like,
it's just.
Bajoran,
By the way, this is the first time, by the way, that they beam somebody to the transporter pad in Ops, and their face is covered, and then they uncover their face, and Kira knows who they are. But that happens like 7 times, right?
Yeah, it happens a bunch. It's
It's a lot.
what do we do? Huh? It's the only time.
Yeah.
People are always beamed like this in DS9.
Yeah.
I know. They're being. What doesn't make sense
It's
actually
also, by the way-
is people are beamed out from a sitting position, but then they're beamed in by a standing position. Like people who are beamed out from a sitting position should just fall on their ass like the second they get beamed in.
Yeah.
It's science.
By the way,
It's
always,
Science.
always. Also, this is, by the way, the first occurrence I marked down for. We have no idea how to pronounce the name of this planet. Like, Tanalos repeatedly says, like, I want Bajor for Bajorans.
Yes.
But Kira repeatedly says Bajor.
Is it Iran or Iran? Is it Qatar or Qatar?
Yeah, but you know who doesn't disagree on that? The people that are from there.
maybe they're different.
maybe
Maybe
they
from
do.
different regions. Maybe they're from different parts.
Is it
of Asia.
America or America?
Tough one. Tough one. But yeah, this is like a classic one where you sometimes like the more extremist characters, you hear them call it Bajor, and you're like, oh, is that like the more like
Yeah.
intense pronunciation?
Maybe that's like the old school pronunciation, you know?
What we also talk about in this episode, which is like a little bit later, but is Bajor 8.
Yes.
Like
Bajor has like different like moons,
different
and
planets
and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's not in the same system because they're traveling in warp.
Right.
To go from one to the
No,
other.
it's the same system.
It's all in the same system.
It's the same system.
Hold on. So
It's the eighth planet in the solar system.
before we get to that, I want to talk about Lursa and Bajor, who we see. We bring back the Klingon Duras sisters, who we love, and I gotta say the practicality of those outfits never lets me down. Really, it's very important to have armor that right where your heart is, it's just completely exposed, like.
They're distraction armor.
It's very much distraction armor. It's like it's really incredible. It's like it always reminds me of.
They have two hearts.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it always reminds me of the when you're playing
Nati,
video games and
Nati,
the armor. What? The armor for guys is like a full armor set, and the armor for women is like just a bikini. When you're playing video games, like fantasy video games. Nati doesn't play video games. She doesn't know what I'm talking about. So
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I love when Odo just wants to throw everyone in jail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was easier when the Cardassians were in charge.
But I wrote it down because it's maybe my favorite line of the episode. Cardassian rule may have been oppressive, but at least it was simple. And it's like, and I've been comping the Cardassian rule to the USSR. And I even like looked up different like resistances and uprisings against the USSR during like their reign and stuff. And I was like, every single time I hear something like that, I'm like, oh yeah, this is definitely the USSR. Like they were definitely going for that, you know, like, yeah, just lock them up. Like they're being annoying. Like I don't want them here. So just throw them in a holding cell. Odo, classic Odo.
Love it.
Yeah. So Garrick gives some coded messages to Bashir, who does not get it. Like literally, Bashir walks up to him and says, like, I study outfits. Look at those two outfits. They deserve to be studied closely. And Bashir's like, what the hell are you talking about, my man?
I don't need a suit.
I love I think it.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Do you think that Bashir started doing the spy hollow program just to keep up with Garrick?
Oh, he definitely did.
He was like, I'm way behind on this Garrick talk half the time. I gotta do something to like beef up my game.
But he's
give me a
also
spy program or something.
He's also a world-class horn dog. So he's going with James Bond spies in like the 1960s where his valet is like his money penny and like he's got like pussy galore and like, he's got everyone. He's literally, when he goes to the spy episode, the Arman Bashir episode is insane. Like he's got every woman every single time doing that. But the funny thing is, what cracked me up was his secret messages were so transparent. Like they were so obviously transparent. It reminded me of when Harry Potter wrote the letter to Sirius, and he's like writing a coded message. And he's like, "We're all missing our biggest friend," and it's like, oh my god, like you idiot! Everyone who reads this knows you're talking about Hagrid. Like, what the hell are you talking about?
The question is, why does he just tell him? Like,
yeah,
what do you like?
Well, that's how Garrick operates.
Loud place. Yeah, but like,
I love that. I love how Garrick is just like, Garrick has some of the best lines in the series.
He's such a good character because you don't know what's going on with him. Also, you don't know where he lies and what he's like doing, and you know that's what creates. Such
he also tries
character.
to kill them like 8 times.
Yeah, but then they're like he smiles and they're like, okay,
like, Garrick, Garrick.
It was all in good fun.
Oh man, you got those pants for me, by the way. I forgot. I was supposed to pick them up on Tuesday. I know it's Thursday. Yeah. I really wish Garrick had like a sign in his tailor shop that says like, if you don't pick up your stuff after 6 months, I keep it, or something like the dry cleaners have. Anything in the pockets, like I'm not responsible.
I love that they also went with him being a tailor.
Yes.
Instead of like anything else, he could have been he could just had a restaurant. Like he could have just had like a tailor. Like it's such like a random like.
I know. And also,
because he actually has to make clothing and design stuff.
Well, he mentions that he's like a really good tailor. Like he mentions it like much later. He's like, you know what really sucks about all this? I'm a really good tailor.
Yeah. By the way, I always wondered every time he mentions that like later in the series also, and you're like, but when you find out all the details of like Garrick's backstory, you're like, you were raised by a Dobrin teen who was your father. Like you've been wanting to be a spy since you were like born. When did you like do a tailor apprenticeship?
He's a man of many talents.
Like when did you just like spend a lot of time and you were like thinking like, is it like standard Obsidian Order practice where it's like, okay, everyone's got to like develop a really thick backstory?
Hold on, have you ever actually seen him doing any tailoring? He has like a little laser that he like so it's probably not that hard to be a tailor.
Can I say the biggest thing that we're not realizing?
Yeah,
they have replicators.
And they don't need tailors.
They don't need tailors. They don't need anybody to hem your clothing.
Well, okay, let's actually talk about this for a second.
Replicator and be like, make this an inch shorter, and it would. Like,
yeah, but like that's because like we buy stuff.
That's the same thing as everything.
Yeah, like I get my
clothes at Costco. On the promenade. Why go buy a Jumja stick from the Jumja stick lady? Just replicate one of your quarters.
Yeah, but if you have like only 20 pops or whatever it is,
because it's just not the same, Nati. It's just not the same to get a Jumja stick in your quarters. Also, it's about the ambiance. First of all, Quark just replicates all his food anyway.
It's pretty funny.
Quark like replicates your meal and then gives it to you and charges you money. You're going there to sit at Quark's.
Energy.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. To be fair, by the way, that's one of the things that when I was like a kid, I really did not understand about this show was like, explain the difference between like eating at the Replomat or eating at Quark's.
It's just different ambiance.
Right. It's like you could eat in your quarters, or you could eat at Quark's, and the Replomat is like some weird in between thing.
The Replomat is more like a.
Do you want to eat replicated food, but near other people, but without people yelling Dabo? You should go to the Replomat.
All right, it's like eating at your college like cafeteria. That's the Replomat. Quark's is like eating at the Hard Rock Cafe.
There's also like
and
alcohol
your quarters
served,
is
so
just
like
lonely, dude. Like
it's like ordering food at the bar. Like you're just like, okay,
yeah, it's
like
a bar.
I'm getting food. It's a bar. Gonna maybe play some Dabo, whatever.
Yeah, or some darts.
Darts, yeah. Or or I'll go in where he gets the.
By the way, the craziest thing is that like they give Quark a dartboard and he puts it up, but it doesn't make him any money. How come he doesn't like put up like a blackjack table? Like or something. Like another game besides Dabo.
So but because I think it's pretty clear that like Dabo is the like accepted like most popular thing. First of all, and also Dabo doesn't take up that much room. He's got very little room. Surprising because it's a set of a TV show, but like he's got like enough for like 3 Dabo tables. But if you really think about it, like it makes sense because remember at the end of the episode with the Wadi, he talks about he's like, oh, maybe I could put one of these on the second floor, and it's like, no, you couldn't. This thing is gigantic. Have you seen the second floor of your bar? What are you talking about? Like, there's no room for that. Like,
well, we will get to
really
that.
Also, why does he have the hollow suites?
Those are his hollow suites.
It's impressive.
He built them.
Yeah, I think so.
He built them.
By the way, how many hollow suites do you have? 6?
Yeah, it's a decent amount. This
I think it's 4 or 6.
I think it's 6. Okay, so I want to talk about the spycraft or the tradecraft in this episode also because Lursa and Baitor are sitting in Quark's. Okay, Tanalos comes into Quark's. Odo is sitting at the bar of Quark's. He's not even he's just Odo. Tanalos comes in. Lursa Baitor and Tanalos leave together. Like, they are really bad at this. This is not.
Yeah.
You have Garrick openly saying out loud, "Keep an eye on those 2 outfits." Like,
the question is also like there are other security guards on the ship. They should be watching them.
I know.
You're gonna watch where they go. Like
You're also like the terrorists that just came on board, and the only 2 Klingons on board. Like, come on.
You also Tanalos at least is like a Bajoran guy, like whatever. But like Lursa and Baitor stick out like 2 sore thumbs, and it's like, do you think like
actually they still got like 4
one's gonna
thumbs.
follow you?
What's crazy is that Cisco talks about them like, oh, they tried to overthrow the government.
Yeah, they had a brief civil war.
They know how bad they are,
Yeah,
and they still let them just.
Lursa and Baitor basically they destroyed the Enterprise.
like
a few years from now.
Also,
they're bad news.
Yeah, to be clear, they also like show up and they like immediately make an impression by like knocking down a security guard. And they're not like trying to hide.
Not turning over their disruptors. By the way, the no weapons on the promenade rule only refers to guns. By the way, like Klingons walk around with batlets like, on the promenade.
Oh yeah.
Guys, we need common sense.
Not only that, but this is a classic thing, like on Deep Space Nine. That whole thing with like the proximity sensors when you try to like enter the promenade with a disruptor. Those don't work.
Those don't
like
work
at all.
There's so many.
Like there's like 40 episodes where like somebody shoots somebody on the promenade with a disruptor. Like, what the hell are you talking about?
Well, you know, a lot of things on DS9 don't work. I mean, O'Brien's constantly complaining about it. And Nati, this is back to your question. Odo became a mouse. So wait, how does that work with his mass and size and density?
Don't know.
Yeah, the drop becomes the ocean. The ocean becomes the drop. So
we can't answer anything.
Yeah. The funny thing also is that I love the scene when Cisco and Odo are. So Kira goes to Cisco. She learns he could be reasonable. He does that great line where he's talking about going over his head. Oh baby, like you don't want to mess with Cisco. But then Odo and Cisco talk in Cisco's office, and they are standing really close to each other. I don't know if you noticed that. That cracked me up. They were like inches apart. I was like, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I know Bashir and Garrick are definitely putting out vibes right now, but you guys, you can take a step back. But at this point, Odo doesn't love Kira, right?
I don't think
he barely knows Kira.
No, he knows Kira really well. Yeah. Remember all the flashback episodes?
But they don't really like know each other. Because Akira was there, then she left, and then she came back.
They probably don't know each other in the roles that they're in.
Is it this? Well. It's this episode. It's this episode, right, where Kira says, "How much do you know about me?" And Odo's like, "Probably more than you think."
Yeah.
Right. That's this episode.
Yeah.
Odo knows everything. I think the problem is that like Odo is still like a child, and doesn't have like romantic feelings towards anybody.
Okay, so he develops his feelings later.
Yeah, I think he like doesn't understand that like they might turn into feelings. He doesn't get it.
Okay. I mean, I don't think he knows her for that long because so he met her when she came on the station when he was working for the Cardassians, right? But he met her briefly when she had her long hair phase.
Well, he didn't really meet her briefly, if you remember. He actually kind of like, it's kind of like a whole thing.
Yeah, there's a whole episode about it later.
And he actually like kind of likes her, and then that's the whole thing where he's like hoping that she did or didn't commit the murder, and whatever. Spoilers.
Yeah, and she
happened in 1993.
She's the one who gave him the nickname Constable. Yeah. But
can we discuss how the Lursa and Baitar got like Biltrium? Like this is such like a random, expensive, like limited edition, like limited, like piece of source of energy, and they just had it. Like, how did they get that? I love how he just like
just like skips right over. Like
just skips right over. Like, oh, they happen to have this.
but also like Lursa and Baitar are like fairly high up in the Klingon Empire, and that's like a big empire. So like, but they have their followers. So like, I don't think it would be that hard for them to get their hands on something if they really needed to.
I don't know. That's a tough ask. Also, to trade it for what did they say? 13 kilograms of gold plus platinum. So they haven't come up with the slip strips and bars method yet. Also, they talk about gold a lot, and then later in the episode they mention gold pressed platinum. So first they say gold, second they say gold pressed platinum. Like they're still working out the currency issue in DS9. The writers are still trying to figure that one out. But so they got it for 13 kilograms. How much is 13 kilograms of gold pressed platinum? How many bars is that? Is that 13 bars? Is like a bar a kilogram?
I don't know because I don't think they don't talk about.
They don't weigh
gold pressed platinum in weight.
Yeah. But here's the thing.
So I don't know.
Like, if it is 13 bars of gold pressed platinum, that's not that much for this kind of thing.
No.
Yeah.
No.
It shouldn't be.
Like, land is 5 bars of gold pressed platinum. Land. So, what's it called? Then they have. Hold on, I was doing this here. Oh, okay. So Tanalos is crazy because is talking about how the Federation is going to become a permanent presence on Bajor. And Kira's like, no, it's temporary. No, it's temporary. But Tanalos was right. I mean, Kira.
Well, it was weird for Kira to argue that because like the purpose of the Federation being there is to like fast track Bajor getting into the Federation.
Yeah, and it seems like Kira's kind of in denial about that.
Yeah, it's not a secret at all, which is weird.
Also with the wormhole, they like fast track these types of things. So like when you have such a powerful piece of like, technology or, whatever you want to call the wormhole, like they're going to fast track them like right away into the Federation because like they don't want anything to happen to that.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't really make sense. But like the Federation already has like a presence on Deep Space Nine. They don't really need Bajor to be part of the Federation for them to maintain their presence.
I mean, yeah. The code.
Well, it depends. First, okay. All right. Okay, so let's talk that part over. So that has to do with where exactly Bajor is and how far it is from like the nearest starbase. We do get a picture at some point later in the show that the nearest starbase is actually like not that close, which means that basically, if Bajor is going to join the Federation, either they're going to build a starbase like by the wormhole, or Deep Space Nine is going to become like a Federation station and not Bajoran. Uh-huh. Now, remember, Bajoran, like, once you become a member of the Federation, this is a little dicey because it depends on your definition of like some planets that join the Federation keep some of their own things and some of them don't. So like in a lot of cases, they would take like the whole Bajoran military and they would just like fold them into the Federation. They would just be like, you guys will have a bunch of commissions, like here it is, and like now, whatever, we're gonna put you on like Federation starships and the space station is gonna run like a Federation station and whatever. Or they keep them like kind of separate. And like so it really depends on like what the terms of the joining are. And we do get a picture of like map wise that Bajor is kind of like pretty far away from the nearest thing. So it really does depend on what kind of like joining they're going to do. And like, is everyone just going to get like folded into the Federation or not?
Well, we know
and
that
is
like,
Deep Space Nine
has their own vessels. Like so Vulcan isn't like fully part of. Doesn't fold everything.
No, that's different. The Vulcan Science Academy has their own ships, but there are also like Federation ships that are entirely manned by Vulcans, like the ship, like the Take Me Out to the Holosuite.
There are Vulcan captains and Vulcan members of Starfleet, obviously.
Right,
but,
they're all Vulcan crews, just like the Vulcan crew in Take Me Out to the Holosuite.
Yeah, you love those.
But they also have like the Vulcans. The Vulcan Science Academy has like their own ships also.
By the way, I want to talk about that when we get to that episode because that does not seem like something that should happen on a Starfleet ship. But whatever. Okay, so the Bashir is told by Garrick to come to his the tailor shop at 20:55. He says it like 12 times. Bashir doesn't get it. Like, you need a suit. Come to my shop at 20:55 exactly. Bashir's like,
I don't need a suit.
I don't need a suit. What are you talking about? And then when he gets there, and then he goes to ask Cisco, and Cisco's like, Yeah, dude, like, just go to the shop at 2055. Like, you do need a suit. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And Bashir's like, I don't need a suit, Captain Commander.
You could say he's book smart, not street smart.
Exactly. And then he gets there late. He actually gets there late, which is insane, by the way. And he goes into and Garrick throws him into the changing room with a suit jacket. And Bashir's just like, I don't know why, but all right, I'm just going to try this on.
I love that I love that he picks up the suit jacket and like puts it in front of him, and he's like, "That's not why you're here.
You're not there for a suit, you idiot." I know. It's just amazing. How does he do that? It's so good. So Bashir is such a moron in this episode. Is Dax even in this episode, like, at all?
No, she's not.
Yeah, she is.
She's in the very beginning.
In the beginning. In the beginning, she gives him crap about. She gives him crap about Garrick, and she's like, "Oh, what do you think he wants to do, Julian?" And like,
who do you think he wants to do, Julian? So Kira goes to Odo, and I don't really understand why Kira is so accepting of Odo in these early episodes. She literally confides in him, but he worked for the Cardassians like a month ago. Like, Kira is very, like, confides in Odo immediately, and he gets her. They
must have some sort of relationship. They must have some sort of working.
It's because of what happened in the flashback episode we see later. She knows that really Odo is like super.
Yeah.
She knows that Odo is super honest.
Yeah.
Even when he worked with the Cardassians, he didn't really like cooperate with them. He like did do whatever they say, and he's the only other person like there who isn't Starfleet. What's she gonna like confide in?
He's about to crash out again.
Quark? Like,
Nati, you crashed out for a second.
Yeah. What are you talking about?
You paused for a second there. You'll see it on the recording.
Oh.
Check it out on YouTube. Okay.
I don't watch this show.
I'm gonna watch this show. Who would watch this?
Why would you not watch this? We have 23 views on our first episode.
I know, crazy. So I also love how Odo, he didn't like. He didn't say, he already said, like, I don't have pretense. Like, he didn't say, like, do you want me to call Cisco? He literally, like, just calls Cisco.
Okay. Odo being like, the one thing I don't understand the solids is pretense. Shut up. What are you talking about? You're literally the security chief. You go into Quarks, like, 4 times a day and start conversations that are all pretense. It's all he does. When he said that, I was like, "What on earth are you talking about?"
That's like your thing, dude. Like, pretense is your thing.
Like, all of your tense is pre. You don't have any post tense. Like, all you do is like walk into Quark and you're like, "Say, look at these Klingons who just showed up.
Oh,
do you know those guys?"
Really?
What are you talking about? When he said that, I was so confused. I was like, "What?"
Oh my god, I love it. But I love when he calls Cisco. Like, Kira is like not even sold yet on who she should side with, and Odo's like, I'm making this decision for you. You clearly feel like you need to tell Cisco.
I mean, for someone who doesn't pick up on human emotion, he really picked up well on her.
No, he's a good study of human emotion. That's the thing. He's an observer of human emotions. That's how it makes him such a good security chief.
Yeah.
But he like made the decision. He's just like, yeah, you're done. So what's it called? Okay. Then you have like the action set up. You know, they set him up. They go get Tanalos out of there. And, you know, they win. Yay. But you never see Tanalos again. Where'd Tanalos go after that? He wasn't given back to the Cardassians.
Prison?
Bajoran
prison?
Bajoran prison?
Murdered?
They're not going to turn him over to the Cardassians, but they're not going to let him go.
Yeah. I like when Cisco hung up on the Cardassian was just like, Cardassian's like, and I just want to say I told you so, Blake. Like, you're done.
The other weird thing that they don't really talk about in this episode, which doesn't totally make any sense, is like, Tanalos is like, I'm going to get rid of the wormhole. And at no point is Kira like, that's the Celestial Temple of the Prophets.
That is a good point, by the way.
She just doesn't bring it up. And I'm like, I thought like in the last episode we very clearly established this is like a massive like religious like uprising like in your people that like, oh, we found the celestial temple of the prophets, and this guy is like, I'm gonna blow it up, and she's like, I might be in on that.
Yeah.
Like what? Like didn't make any sense. How does she not even bring it up one time?
That's a good point. So actually, when we were talking about making this show, we actually made everything in Deep Space Nine is part of a larger story arc. So, and Bajor has like 3 different story arcs basically, and so this is like, would you consider this like this is like the post-war like dealing with the
Yeah.
Cardassians like story arc, like basically cleaning up after the occupation kind of thing. So it's not really political and it's not really religious in those other story arcs. Now, all these story arcs usually get intertwined somehow, but they didn't really, it seems like they just didn't come up with the real like religious aspect of the Celestial Temple and all that kind of stuff. Like they brought it up in the first episode, but it's like they didn't really dig deep on it yet.
It seems like they're still working on like the idea that not everything's settled. Things are still like very, delicate, and things can go very, one way or the other. Like, it's clearly like a very complicated situation.
Yeah, I mean, Kira, this is her first opportunity to decide between Bajor and the Federation, or a version of Bajor that some people want.
The version that like, the people, they're in the direction they're going.
Yeah. I mean, so
a version of Bajor called Bajor.
Bajor for Bajorans. By the way, so I actually just watched the Ensign Rowe episode of TNG, which is like the first, like they talk about the Bajora. So they talk about the Bajora, which is like weird the way they put it, and because from that on you refer to them as Bajorans, so it makes it seem like the Bajora are like one of the cells in the Resistance. So there's like Konma, Shakar Resistance, Bajora, like there's a bunch of different ones, but in TNG, and then they bring it over to DS9, and they're like, no, they're called Bajorans. Like this is not like a thing. The Bajora, the Bajor, like Bajor, like they had to figure it all out basically.
It says on Memory Alpha, the Bajorans or Bajora were a humanoid species. So I don't know.
Yes, indistinguishable from humans, except for in 2 different ways. Nose crinkling
Hair.
And sneezing during pregnancy. Otherwise indistinguishable.
Basically the same thing.
All right. Any last thoughts?
It was a good solid episode, like from start to finish, like building up the characters and then just, finishing off the plot line. Like it was a good one and done type of episode,
Yeah. I know.
Yeah, my favorite part of this episode, I think, is when they're fighting on the runabout, and at one point, he knocks her down, and he's trying to like do the thing he's trying to do, whatever it is that for some reason is on the ceiling of the runabout, which is never a thing ever again. And he and Kira's trying to prevent him from doing it, and she's literally grabbing his ankle and like pulling his ankle like she's a 3-year-old. I love that part.
Yeah.
I love that part.
You were supposed to be like
is that
a fighter?
Is that an official resistance tactic? What are you doing?
I should have wrote that down. I forgot to write that down. I was hearing that. I was like,
they also don't discuss what happened to the other 2 Konma people. Like they're like, oh, we should meet these other 2 people bringing the the item.
Why didn't they go on the runabout with?
Just like you would think they would be there to help out or something. And if they got arrested, you would assume something. They'd be suspicious. So like, it's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm feeling just like this. It's weird with when you establish things. They're like, oh, like there's a whole bunch of terrorists, and you're like, okay. And then the terrorists are like, we're not terrorists anymore. And they're like, oh, okay. And then they're like, psych, we are terrorists again. They're like, oh, I should see that coming. And you're like, all right, that's the whole episode. Okay, good job. like yeah. All right, let's put the terrorists in jail. Good idea.
Exactly.
And scene.
And scene. And we never see Tanalos again. He went on to become a coach of a high school hockey team.
That's what they do.
And,
They send him
like
to-
187 other IMDb credits, by the way. That guy's been everywhere.
Interesting.
He's one of those
No.
guys. Yeah, he's showed up like in so many different places. Yeah. You got to go through his IMDb at one point.
They put him in some weird outfits in this episode. I got to be honest.
There's no such thing as not weird outfits in this entire era of Star Trek. Which, by the way, really bothers me about new Star Trek is that they don't put them in weird outfits.
Kind of.
It's annoying when they wear just like hoodies. Like when they just got when they got the
more weird
wardrobe.
outfit.
Yeah, when they get the wardrobe from like the local Target, like I don't like it. Star Trek clothes are supposed to be weird. You're hundreds of years in the future. Like
at least in Back to the Future, the pockets were upside down and like you could dry yourself.
Exactly.
Like
no, but like think about it. Like we do not wear what we wore 250 years ago. Why are they wearing what?
Tyler's wearing some weird.
By the way, a great line from Cisco when he texted Kira, "You go over my head again, and I'll have yours on a platter."
I have yours on a platter.
That's a great line.
I love it. Cisco's the best.
Yeah, he's got like that, like those lines and the like one-time pieces. Like he's just phenomenal.
Yeah.
I think he really starts to show also like his depth in this episode.
Yeah, Cisco's a strong captain from jump. I mean,
he's
whatever.
He's in this episode a few times, but he's not the main focus.
Yeah.
But he's just very powerful when he's in it.
Yeah, it's definitely a Kira episode.
Yeah, for sure. Kira based.
It is definitely a Kira-centric
episode. Yeah.
Are we going to keep track of how many episodes who the focus is on?
Yeah.
We definitely should. Hold on. I wanted to keep track of how many runabouts are destroyed. How many times?
Zeros.
Zero so far. I know it's not Voyager. It's
so
not
far.
Voyager. It's not that bad. But I wanted to keep track on how many rule of acquisition mentions. I also wrote something terrible happens to the chief. I gotta keep track of that.
All the time.
Yeah. So, but definitely. All right. Bye, Nati. Good to see you.
He's running out of time.
Nati's done. And so are we. All right. So we'll be back next week with season 1, episode 4, A Man Alone. Looking forward. All right. This has been the Ways Away Tour podcast. Good to see you. See you later, buddy.
Take care.
All right.